Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to share a post-burn review of HomeWorx Mahogany Pumpkin. This is actually a part of the HomeWorx Orchard Treats collection that is currently available over at QVC. I did just record my review of the Sweet Autumn Nectar. I'm not sure what order these videos are going up in or exactly when they're going up. They're going up at some point. But I will have my review of the Sweet Autumn Nectar linked in the description box below this video here. I'll also put a link at the top of the description box if you want to purchase the Orchard Treats trio. I did receive this trio in PR from HomeWorx. I am actually curious about the other big deal trio. I believe it's called the Autumn Woodland Collection. I'm definitely curious about that trio as well. It's another set of 3 candles. These are the 3 wicks, so they are only the 14-ounce candles, but I'm kind of curious about that trio as well now, so I may go ahead and pick that up here in a few weeks. I've really enjoyed this trio here, and while the other one didn't really grab my attention initially, now, because of my experience with this trio, I kind of want to try them. Honestly, I was really nervous about this mahogany pumpkin fragrance initially. I think that Bath & Body Works Mahogany Teakwood has forever ruined the word mahogany for me. I am just always going to imagine that it is going to have a mahogany teakwood vibe if there is mahogany anywhere in the title. I am happy to report that's not the case here. This is teakwood free. You do smell a really nice woody note in this one, but it's not mahogany teakwood. Don't worry, it's not like you sprayed yourself in the face with a horrifically aggressive men's cologne. It's not like that at all. By the way, these 2 trios are available with an auto ship. So the information for the auto ship is on the website. I'm not going to talk about that here. But let's talk about this mahogany pumpkin fragrance. I'm reviewing these each individually because my hope is actually that HomeWorx will create these in a 4-wick format in the future, and that way I can just already have a review ready to go for those that are interested. But yeah, this is a really great scent, and I just really wish it was in the 4-wick format because, as you can see, this is sitting atop a HomeWorx pedestal and it's not filling the base of that pedestal out, and man, does that annoy me for some reason. It's irrational. It shouldn't annoy me because it doesn't annoy me when I place another candle company's candle on top of these pedestals and they don't fill out the base, but for whatever reason, the HomeWorx ones do, because I feel like it's HomeWorx. It should fill out the whole base. Yeah, anyway, obviously I have a preference for the 4 wicks, but let's go ahead and dig into Mahogany Pumpkin. Usually I like to read through the fragrance story first, but there really isn't one for each of the 3 scents. I did read just the generic description for the overall collection in the last video. I'm not going to do that this time around because you probably already heard it, but let's just dive straight into the notes here. So the notes are heirloom pumpkin, autumn spice, patchouli, and red mahogany. I feel like the mahogany here and the patchouli definitely are 2 of those fragrance notes that can probably turn a lot of people off just immediately. But I would really encourage you to not do that in the case of this collection, because this is such a lovely, unique, woody pumpkin. There really is a true, like, heirloom pumpkin note here. It's like a mix of, the way that I think of heirloom pumpkin is it's like a mix of that traditional orange pumpkin with the white pumpkin. So you get a definite pumpkin note here, but it's a little fancier than regular old orange pumpkin, but not quite as maybe fancy or sophisticated as the white pumpkin. White pumpkin tends to smell almost a little bit more like perfumey, still edible, but a little bit more perfumey to my nose. So this heirloom pumpkin note is kind of just right in the middle of those two. It's nice, it's creamy, it definitely smells mostly edible to my nose. You do get the classic autumn spices here. You're gonna smell a little bit of clove, you're gonna smell a little bit of cinnamon. I don't really get any nutmeg in this one, but the clove and the cinnamon are definitely present. There is a definite, I would say, perfumey, slightly perfumey patchouli note here, but it's really only about like maybe 5% of the fragrance. It's not super prominent, but it is there. If you are at all sensitive to patchouli, whether the earthy patchouli, which, you know, kind of smells like that, like almost dirty patchouli, that's not what this is. This is more of the pretty perfumey patchouli. Definitely smells like a very elevated patchouli, but it is there. So if you just don't enjoy this particular note in any rendition, I would say maybe skip the trio, because you might find this one a little perfumey to your nose. I like it. I do still think of this as mostly gourmand. The red mahogany note, I think, is kind of the most interesting part of this fragrance. I don't always like woody scents. There are some woody scents that I can get behind, but I'm pretty picky about it. This mahogany is a really nice, smooth woody note. It's not super aggressive. It's not like overly prominent. I would say the woody aspect of this scent is maybe about 25% of the fragrance. The rest really is mostly that like pumpkin note and the spices. That's what I notice more than anything else, but there is definitely a woody component here. It's soft. It's a pretty woody note. It's not overly aggressive. But it is woody. So just prepare yourself for that. I like the fragrance. Again, I didn't expect to really enjoy this one at all, but it smells warm, it smells cozy, it smells inviting. It's just a really pleasant fragrance. And again, don't think mahogany teakwood. Think literally the polar opposite of that. This is really well done, and I like it a lot. And if this came out in a 4-wick, you bet your butt that I will pick it up in a 4-wick, because I love it. I really do like this one a lot, and I'm glad that it came in this trio. I don't think that anyone could have convinced me to pick this up on its own had I not known what it smelled like first, because again, my mind would just immediately go mahogany teakwood. Strength and throw. All right, solid 7 in terms of strength here. It's been a good performer from the get-go. It's still performing at a strength of a 7 at the halfway point here. The throw, I would probably also give just about a 7 as well. It's a solid medium performer, and I can smell it throughout, I would say, most of the downstairs. I don't think it's strong enough to just have going on its own, but it certainly pairs well with the autumn nectar. It also really goes great with the blackberry maple ice cream, also a part of this trio. Honestly, burn them all 3 at the same time, because they are a great combination together. They just smell really, really great. Harry always talks about, like his fragrance stories and fragrance layering. This particular trio, I think, is executed really well in that respect, because you can burn each of these candles individually. You can burn 2 together at a time. You can burn all 3 together at a time, and you're gonna get a really lovely fragrance experience. So yeah, good strength and throw. Burn quality, let's dig in there. No issues at all. I will say, and I mentioned this in my review of the Sweet Autumn Nectar, the burn range here is kind of broad. So on the QVC website, it states a burn time of 20 to 40 hours. This one, you can see, I'm at the halfway point. I have burned it for roughly, I would say, about 15 hours, maybe 16, 17, but I would say, just to be safe, let's give it 15 hours so far. So that means that I kind of anticipate about having 15 hours left, which would put me at right around 30 hours. So right in the middle of that rather large burn range that they give on the website. 15 hours, or I guess I should say 30 hours of burn time for a candle of this size, I think is fair, especially since I'm getting a good clean burn. But like the first fragrance that I reviewed, this has these crazy, wicked hot wicks that really get going, and they get going fast. You are not going to be able to, or I guess you shouldn't burn these for more than about 3.5 hours. Beyond that, I think you're going to start having issues with these in terms of the wicks maybe getting out of control. I think you're going to get too deep of a wax pool if you let it go too long. So right around 3 hours, I would say, is the ideal here, but you're still going to get a really hot burn at the 3-hour mark. So do be careful with that. I'll give you guys the overhead shot here so that you can see this has had a nice clean burn. There is a little bit of wax with this one that has been sticking along the side, as you can see, but it does work its way down. There's not really any on this side over here, but this side has had a little bit of wax that has just slowly kind of slid down with the wax pool. As you can see, that is the last area to fully pull out each burn. If it was a 4-wick, I don't think that would be happening, because as you can see, it's not happening with this wick that's over close to this edge. It's almost like there is a wick missing over there, but listen, it does pull out completely. It just leaves that little bit of residue there, and gosh, I'm a little afraid to like stick my finger in here because it gets hot so fast. But I just wanted to show you that, oh, I got a little bit of wax on there. That's actually red wax. That's not like discoloration from the candle, but you can see that it's got a nice clean burn. There's certainly no sooting or anything that's happening here. So just don't burn this for hours on end. You're definitely gonna deal with issues if you do, because these wicks just, they get way too hot. So be careful, but as long as you're careful, I think you're fine. I really like this trio, you guys. It definitely was something that I was not expecting to enjoy quite as much as I have been enjoying the trio, but it's a good one. I think it's worth checking out. Let me know if you have any questions. There's one more review to come of the blackberry fragrance in this particular trio. And if you're normally nervous about maple, let me put your fears to rest. There's not a ton of maple in that blackberry scent. And the little bit that you can smell actually smells really, really good with the blackberries. So, but we'll discuss that fragrance here next. So let me know if you have any questions about this one. Again, I'll have it linked at the top of the description box. If you picked this trio up, let me know your experience. Especially let me know how yours has been burning. Has it been burning really hot? I'm curious if other people have had that experience as well. So let me know. All right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.